Hey, what's good, everyone? Welcome to the next block, episode 86, and we have a special guest, Quantoz, waiting backstage. I know y'all excited. How you doing, Crypto for Change?
I'm doing good, doing good. We got alt season that seems to be getting ready to fire on all cylinders. The
Yes,
Fed announcing some I think more rate cuts, at least in
pauses, at
2024.
least pauses.
Yeah, at least, well, they're already paused. I think they made that clear, not going to raise. So we're definitely, there, the market is frothy and it's ready, what seems like, for some up December and, hopefully in the beginning of the year. I mean, we know Algorand's sitting
Yeah.
there ready to pump. There's so much. I feel like, this almost, like, I was literally thinking this yesterday, because of kind of just where we are in the market and like thinking back to the last bull run and what's going on, everybody, to everybody in the chat. But like, um, it feels like, even like honestly, when I first heard about crypto, like, I got
Mhm.
people texting me and asking me stuff about crypto, but they're not really buying, right? They're just like, they're curious, and they're seeing these tweets, or they're seeing the posts, and they're seeing the stuff on the TV, but they're not FOMOing into buying. So I still think we have not hit that real just straight up and to the right. I think it's coming very soon. So
Well,
yeah,
I'll say
exciting times.
my mom has not called me about Dogecoin yet, so
Or
I'll say
Pepe.
or Pepe or Sheep. So we're not there yet, but I am feeling that like you said, that early first time getting in the crypto vibe, and where you can't even see what's going to happen with a chart because it has no price discovery. So it's been very interesting. Do want to say what's good to Everyday Algonaut, 409 Algo, Zyro. See
Yeah, I
a
got
few other
Kenrick's in
people,
the house as
Kendrick in
well.
the
Yep.
house, everyone who's watching on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
and
else
make
we got?
sure, if you are watching on Twitter, or even if you are watching right now on YouTube, we are doing a giveaway for some Algorand merch. So two people are going to win a hat, a jacket, and a journal. Have Algorand's logo on them, so you'll get some Algo swag for the holidays. Two people can win it. Those two people they do have to be in the United States, Canada, or Mexico, just because that's where the shipping can be sent. But the only way, all you got to do to enter, guys, is you just have to put a comment in the chat, be active, say something, say what's up. I've already got a wheel of names. We're going to draw those two winners at the end of the show, so be sure to stick around. And if you're someone new to the show, we don't really know who you are, but maybe you follow us on Twitter or the socials, be sure to leave your Twitter username or a way for us to contact you, just in case, because we want to make sure we reach out and we get you that if you do win. So outside of that, though, let's jump into a little bit of market. One thing that I saw, I don't know if you saw it yet, but it was kind of interesting, and I've still been trying to get this team from TravelX on the show.
Mm.
But their CEO, Juan Pablo, was hinting that there's going to be a lot of presents for the Algo fam come Christmas. So,
What?
he was, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And so there was a really big spike in transactions for TravelX. And if most people don't know, TravelX is one of, I would say, the real world utilities of Algorand that's being built right now as well, which is NFT tickets for airlines and planes and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting to see if they have another, like, more. Right now it's only Flybondi that we've seen that they partnered with. So it'll be interesting to see what other airlines maybe they are working with, or just what's the reason for that uptick in transactions and things like that. So that's
Yeah.
one thing on Algorand. And obviously that's the way it's so much different than the last bull run. I remember going to First Decipher in Miami, and like, Algorand was so new, like, everything was just launching. And now it's like, I mean, we're literally about to talk to a company who's building a programmable euro, and like, there's so much more infrastructure and so much more backbone to what Algorand's doing. So this bull market is going to be like, it's going to be hard to hang on. I feel like the FOMO is going to be real. That's all I know. What do you think?
Hey, all FOMO right now. Like I'm looking at my Twitter, some of the tweets and or my X posts, and I'm just like, oh, it make me want to buy every single crypto from almost every network, and it's amazing. But what really feels good is that the Algorand ecosystem has awakened. Got the Python, like you said, Travel X. We about to talk to Henry of Quantoz in a moment. There's a lot of things happening that we did not see in 2021. We're
Yeah.
heading into 24 with a lot of upside to go in terms of not just price, but just adoption in general. The Algorand in India has been great. A lot of good developments, the hackathon, the governance. It's a lot of good positive things going on.
Yeah, it is crazy to see how much the FUD just goes away once price action, in the entire market just starts to go up. People got so much to focus on when it's bullish that you just really you lose sight of all the negative stuff that maybe happened in the past, because you start to realize there's so many more people that don't know any of it that are going to come into this market and are going to be excited about what they're currently doing. I mean, just think in the
Yep.
past 6 months, how many big partnerships have been made. I mean, Algorand with FIFA, and you have so many like Hedera with stuff like Kia, and all these different big companies, Nike and stuff, are getting in the game. And so it'll be interesting to see how these partnerships and stuff continue to grow in a bull market with a lot more hype, hopefully pushing behind it, since the infrastructure is kind of already there.
Yes. So should we get this show on the road?
Yeah, let's bring on Quantoz and let's learn about the programmable euro.
Yes. Welcome, Henry, to the show.
Good afternoon to you all. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show. And obviously, we're excited what Quantoz is doing and what you guys are building. So, without further ado, I feel like the most obvious question is, tell us a little bit about what Quantoz is and what you guys are building for the blockchain and the crypto space.
Okay. Yeah, so the Quantoz Story started in 2014 when three friends of mine and me, we just sat together, discussed about the blockchain technology. In those days, you only had the Bitcoin ledger, and we were fascinated by the technology, and we just decided to start with a company that would develop products based on blockchain technology. And our first product was a crypto exchange. It's named Happy Coins. It still exists. And this exchange, consumers in Europe could buy and sell cryptos for euros. And within a few months, we had 40,000 consumers buying their cryptos with us. But we are not B2C guys. We like technology. We are more B2B, and we were also looking for other where the blockchain technology could also be applied. So we sold Happy Coins in 2018, but from 2015 onwards, we looked to solving the payment problem for IoT devices. You have the Internet of Things, you have sensors, machines, and you want to establish this IoT economy. If you read the papers from McKinsey, this is a multi-trillion dollar economy. But to get it running, you need to bring economy into the IoT and enable payments between devices. So we started looking into how to handle these payments, and we did a lot of projects. At that time, Algorand didn't exist, so we did it mainly on Stellar. We did a lot of private Stellar network projects, because it was also the time that people were looking, or companies were looking into permissioned blockchains. And so we did a lot of projects for established companies, including Airbus, BASF, and Porsche. And we could tell these companies how much, for example, a connected car had spent at the end of the month. Yeah, so how many transactions? So, for example, Seawheels Porsche had spent $700, and we could tell them that $500 was on charging, 115 on parking, and 50 on washing. But that was not the answer the company wanted. They wanted to have the money on their bank account, and or the 10% service fee the car manufacturing was charging, and that all these service providers were paid. Well, obviously, this is something that goes beyond blockchain. You need a financial license to do that. So we looked a couple of years for potential partners that could help us with such a license, but there was no institution in Europe that offered such a license. So we decided about 2 years ago to do it ourselves. It took a lot of preparation, but we handed over the materials to the Dutch Central Bank on, I remember that date, it was the 30th of June 2022. And about 15 months later, we got a license from the Dutch Central Bank to issue digital money on a public ledger. Yeah, and this is very different from a CBDC or a stablecoin. Yeah, so we issue a regulated programmable euro on Algorand. That's what we do.
Nice. Sorry, I think it was lagging a little bit there. I don't know if C was lagging.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Now, so obviously, that great to hear, sky level what Quantoz is, and you kind of talked about it a little bit right there, but also even before we actually had John Woods on, and one of the things he said was that he was kind of surprised because he kind of was in that regulatory space with the Dutch Central Bank and stuff like that, and those regulators, but that you guys chose Algorand. On your own, right? This, Algorand didn't come out and choose you. You guys came and found it. So the one question I have is, why did you choose Algorand over a lot of the other, maybe more hyped and more popular blockchains in the space? I'm thinking Solana, I'm thinking Cardano, I'm thinking XRP. I mean, you even said you used Stellar, initially before Algorand was even there. So what kind of set Algorand apart from these other blockchains for creating this programmable euro?
Yeah, so we did an extensive risk assessment for the blockchains, and so there was a set of criteria that these blockchains that the blockchain must fulfill. So we are in payments, yeah, and in small payments. So you want a final settlement time of 4 or 5 seconds, yeah, because that is the user experience when paying with a card. Yeah. So every second it takes longer is very frustrating for the consumer or for the machine. Yeah. So you want a finality within 4 or 5 seconds. So there was only one blockchain that fulfills that criteria. You also want a very low transaction fee. Yeah. So because you do high volume in transactions, but low transaction values. So and Quantoz Payments, yeah, pays the transaction fee. So we want to completely hide the blockchain for the users. Yeah. So with Quantoz Payments, users do not see a blockchain wallet or a public key. Yeah. They do not need to pay the transaction fee. Yeah, so it's I think this is very stupid for most of the stable coins. Yeah, that it might be a digital dollar. Yeah, but if you want to transfer us, you still need the native token of the blockchain where the digital dollar is issued on. Yeah, so you still need Ethers or whatever. Yeah, and we wanted to completely hide that for the use. So we pay the transaction fee. So we need low transaction fees. Furthermore, if you want to issue a financial regulated service on a blockchain, this blockchain must offer freezing and clawback of the tokens, not through a smart contract, but inherently in the blockchain on level 1. Yeah, so it must be L1 functionality. And so I can go on. I think we had 15 criteria. And Algorand was really the best fit for purpose. We had long talks with development teams from the top 5 blockchains, and they are not able to fulfill the requirements I just told you about. Right. They might be used for many other use cases, but not for financial services, at least not for the payments.
So for financial services, you're looking for a blockchain that doesn't go down. I was thinking of Solana. Why didn't y'all use Solana? And then you're also talking about cheaper gas fees. So that's kind of, I guess, why you didn't use Ethereum. What about something? Did you look into, let's say, a Cardano or anything of that nature?
Yeah, we had long talks with the Cardano tech team. So very nice people, and they or we told them what we needed on requirements, and they said this is well at the time we discussed. Yeah, so that was a year ago that it was not possible.
Yeah.
So,
And I
it
think
does,
that's I think even we're gonna have Sean Ford on, who used to be at Algorand, now is over at Cardano, actually working with Cardano on stable coins. He's gonna be joining our show in January. And I think there's a lot of blockchains that are not ready for actual businesses, actual things to be built on them yet. They're a lot of blockchains are, it's fine to put NFTs and to have fun with them and experiment with some DeFi protocols and some smart contracts. But most of them, and this is something I keep hearing, I really think Algorand just needs to like tag this slogan underneath, the Algorand logo every time it's seen, almost like Nike, but like it's like fit for purpose. Like you said it, like John Wood says it all the time. The community knows it, but like that's what we are, and that's what Algorand is. It's fit for purpose. It's ready for what the blockchain space is going to now, like what Ethereum's trying to get to, what Solana's trying to get to, what all these different blockchains are trying to do. Algorand's already ready. So I love that. Sewell, you got a question there?
Yeah, so I kind of want to relate, going back to, you said clawbacks and whatnot. Can we dive in a little bit deeper on like the use cases, right? Go into the use cases, because we know right now Ledger is having a situation going on where they've been compromised and part of their technology. So we talked a little bit before the show. We know Tether has the ability to freeze and claw back. So I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the use cases of those type of features for a coin.
Yeah, so some argue that the freezing and clawback of tokens is not in line with the blockchain philosophy. Yeah. So you can argue that, and I don't think that freezing and clawback will ever be implemented on Bitcoin. But again, we offer a financial regulated service. Yeah, and it's just a different situation. And what freezing and clawback means is just what it says. So the issuer of the token, and in our case it's Quantoz Payments, can freeze the assets that are on a certain account. It means that the account holder, yeah, so the let's say the owner of the private key of that account, is no longer able to transfer the token to another wallet. Yeah, so that's the freezing of an account. And clawback means that the issuer transfers the tokens from that wallet back to its one of its own accounts. Yeah, so and you might have situations that people lose access to their tokens, or that by law, we are requested to freeze and clawback tokens. But there's also a very practical situation. Yeah, if you offer a financial product and the holder dies, and you need to execute a testament, what are you going to do? Yeah, so you want to claw back the token.
Yeah,
so it's for very practical reasons.
Yeah, there's some questions here, and Everyday Algonaut, thanks for those questions. They're really good ones. I want to touch on all three of them kind of because they kind of all go together. He kind of has one to start off. How is the KYC? Are all of the customers, all the holders of the EURD, are they going to have to be KYC'd? And is the clawback going to be used to take all non-KYC addresses? And then he also finishes up with the question is, why is the EURD clawback simple account and not multi-sig? So I don't know if you kind of want to touch on some of those, but how does KYC how will that interact with your all's platform?
Okay, so maybe if you allow me, I take the opportunity to first start and explain a bit how the EURD ecosystem works and why businesses and consumers need to sign up, and what are the benefits of that. And then I will also tell a bit more about what we call whitelisted external addresses. So if you allow me to share my screen.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if that goes.
You have to present.
Yeah.
While he's bringing that up, I'm just going to shout out to the audience again. We are doing those 2 giveaways as they're bringing that up. So make sure that if you're new to the show, or if you're someone who hasn't really joined in before, drop a way that we can contact you just in the chat. It could be a Twitter handle, could be an email address, just in case you do win. We have a way to reach out to you at the end of the show.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So this is the EuroD ecosystem, and it has 5 roles, and I will quickly explain those rules. Well, first we have Quantoz Payments, and Quantoz Payments is the gateway between the fiat money and the digital money. So money can only enter the ecosystem or leave the ecosystem through Quantoz Payments. And then we have a bank. So the bank holds the euros that back the EuroDs that are in circulation. And Quantoz Payments does not have access to this money, because the bank account is managed by an independent foundation. It's the Quantoz Foundation. Yeah. So if Quantoz Payments would go bankrupt, or would go out of business, the customer funds are completely separated from Quantoz Payments. So we will always be able to pay out the fiat money to the EuroD holders in case of of something happens with the organization. And this is a very, very different case compared what stablecoins offers. Yeah. So if you don't have this set up, the stablecoin issuer might go out of business, and people just lose their money.
I mean, yeah, we saw it with Circle, kind of, with the USDC. A lot of people started questioning when a lot of those banks went down earlier in this year, and Circle was in one of those banks. It was like, oh my gosh, is the USDC gonna, be able to actually pay the people holding it? And we saw the USDD peg, and so that is definitely a very hot topic in the space.
Yeah. Yeah, so our policy, and also since we are a EMI regulated institution, we only held the funds at AAA banks, and we are allowed to invest some of that money in AAA, for example, bonds of that issued by the ECB or by some Euro countries. So customers can be, and there we go already to the KYC. Customers can be devices, investors, consumers, but also avatars. Yeah. So fact is they need to be whitelisted in order to be able to help EuroDs and buy products or services from service providers. So also service providers need to be boarded and whitelisted, and service providers that can be ordinary shops, but also Web3 shops, devices, or token issuers offering their tokens. And finally, we have an auditor that monitors the parity between the money on the trusted bank account and the EuroDs in circulation. So onboarding of customers and service providers is required. So we have different tiers. So the more money you want to have in the system as a customer or service provider, the more information we need from you. We also have, and this is a bit of a technical situation. We also have whitelisted external accounts. That means that a whitelisted customer or service provider can accounts that have not gone through the KYC of Quantoz Payments. Yeah. So you could say these are virtual accounts created by the customers. So it's just that. For example, you could, as a customer, create an account that is assigned to your car or to your fridge. So in that way, you can expand the network of EuroD accounts without going all these accounts to the Quantoz Payments boarding. Then the funding. So a customer would send money from his bank account to the bank account of the Quantoz Foundation. As soon as the money arrives at the Quantoz Foundation will notify Quantoz Payments. Quantoz Payments will mint the EuroDs and send them to the customer's digital wallet. So this is something that can be done within 30 seconds because we in Europe have the instant payments.
So one quick question I would have on that one, with the EuroD, will there be like liquidity pools that people would be able just to swap on like a DEX, like a TinyMan or anything like that, or would this be the only way to get the EuroD is through this type of way?
Yeah. So if you would, for example, have tokens from a regulated financial service, yeah, and you have these tokens, you could swap them for EuroDs, yeah. But we do not allow ordinary consumers, I say, to cash out more than they have brought into the system. Yeah. So if you are a consumer, you cannot cash out more than you have paid into the system, and this is a simple method to avoid money laundering.
Yeah, it definitely does make sense, especially since you guys are regulated with what you guys are building. It's something that DEXs they're fun and they're exciting, especially in the DeFi space, but there's only so much you can do when you're looking at regulated programmable currencies of countries and nations.
So right now, this is a perfect time for us. Let's segue into our commercial break, and then we'll be right back in about 2 minutes. Sounds good? All right. Cool. Hey, welcome back, everyone. We're here with Henry of Quantoz talking about the Euro D on Algorand. Let's get back to that last conversation. I'll send it back to you, Henry.
Okay, so let's continue with the next slide. After funding, customers and service providers can start interacting. So there is a peer-to-peer payment between customers possible, but of course, customers can also buy with EuroD services or products from a service provider. And finally, we do have the redemption. If customers and service providers want to change their EuroDs back into fiat money, they send their EuroDs to Quantoz Payments. Quantoz Payments will burn the tokens and instruct Quantoz Foundation to pay out the corresponding fiat amount to the bank accounts of the service providers and the customers. So this way, we also guarantee that the EuroDs that are in circulation are in parity with the fiat money that is held on the trusted bank account. Yeah, so we say we are a full service, or sorry, 102% digital euro, because we also have a 2% buffer of euros in the trusted bank account.
And one thing I would like to ask, there's actually also one person in the crowd here saying, he's building an online marketplace for emeralds and other gems like diamonds, especially colored gemstones on Algorand. Blockchain tech is much needed in the gems industry. And it's like, I also think about my wife's job, right? So she does hair, and I've been thinking, I guess I've been waiting for the technology to come to where people who can have a debit card or a card linked to their Para wallet or their Algorand wallet, but then like a business for my wife or someone who's building something, Web 2 marketplace or Web 3 marketplace, where they could actually integrate Quantoz payments to where they could accept, someone spending out of their wallet, and then you guys would then be facilitating that in the background in the euro. Correct? Is that the way I'm understanding how you guys would play the role there?
Yeah, so we have the Quantoz Payments app. That app offers functionality to sign up and fund your wallet and defund, of course, but also to do to make payment requests and make payments. Yeah, so it offers this basic functionality that you need to ramp on, ramp off, make a payment or receive a payment.
So
and
now,
for developers,
I was just going to say one thing I would ask. One, how easy is, do you guys have the integration where it can be as simple as like a QR code for payments, like for someone, like if they have that's cool to know. And then also, what does it look like for the company Quantoz to add other programmable currencies? Like, I know you guys obviously have the euro. Is there going to be the ability for you guys to have other programmable assets that people would be able to accept outside of the euro, or are you guys just primarily focused on, pushing that?
Yeah, so we do have a e-money license for issuing euros, and let's first make that big, and but a logical next step would be, for example, to apply for an e-money license in the UK and issue a digital pound on the blockchain, and that would offer all kinds of new possibilities. And furthermore, we strongly believe in DeFi, and I think one of the big grail for the blockchain industry, and everyone is looking at right now, is the so-called delivery versus payment. Yeah, that you can swap an e-money token, electronic money token, for a asset referenced token. Yeah, so these are the two tokens that are defined in MiCAR. So the electronic money tokens are backed by money and by fiat money, and asset reference tokens are backed by assets, for example, gold. And if you would like to swap them on the blockchain and do a kind of atomic swap, and this is something that Algorand support, you can you can really build new exchanges and have this instant swapping of assets for digital money. So this is something we strongly believe in, and we've already done some projects in that area. If you visit our website, you can read some publications about that, or on our YouTube channel you will find examples of this kind of transactions.
Yeah, and even Dan, Uncle Sam Algo said, have Quantoz and Meld linked up. So, obviously there's that, talking about the gold and silver and precious metals, you got Meld Gold and the team over there, Algo Mint and stuff like that. It would be interesting to see how the different partnerships can be made with the companies that are already kind of trailblazing in the Algorand ecosystem for sure.
Yeah,
so go ahead.
Oh no, it's about the ecosystem as well, because it got me thinking, like, so in the US we use a lot of places, but we're using Cash App and Venmo a lot to send money. And then at this point, I went to a bar and their payment processor was down. They said Venmo is the money, right? So I'm just curious on with the Euro D, if I'm in Europe somewhere, where can I just walk in and spend this Euro D? So what's that ecosystem like? Like, have y'all been reaching out to all the businesses to get them onboarded?
We got the license in October, and we've issued the first 500,000 is now in circulation.
Okay.
So we expect to grow this rapidly and have the first merchants fully operational in Q1 next year.
Okay.
Yeah. So then in the physical shops, where you referred to. But of course, we will have also the use cases in the DeFi space and the machine-to-machine payments.
Yeah. So, and also to follow up with that, what is your thoughts on, so we got Apple iOS store has been having some issues in Europe, and these giant, conglomerates like say Cash App, PayPal, whatnot. What is your thoughts on that, of these US American companies kind of being in Europe?
Yeah, so one of the concerns of the European community is the power of the US financial institutions. Yeah, so I think that there are 5: the Google, Apple, PayPal, Mastercard, and Visa, and I think they make up 80% of the payment industry in Europe. And so Euro D can completely operate without these tech giants, and I don't think that it's going to be a fight between Quantoz and these 5. But it's just that there is now a new payment rail that is independent, that can independently from US companies operate. Yeah, and to our knowledge, we are the first one that really offer this functionality on chain in Europe, and something we are proud of.
Yeah, and it's definitely that's the point. It's definitely exciting, and you guys are obviously pioneering this. Do you guys have? I know there's been a couple questions from some of the audience here. Is there like an official roadmap that you guys have, either in your publications or documents on your website, that people can go check out to see where you guys are at and what you're looking to do in the future?
Well, we had a webinar yesterday where we told about our roadmap. But we are, in some respect, also dependent from third parties. Yeah, so we still have this hook to the financial industry and the regulators. And for example, the passporting, which means getting the EMI license to all the other countries in the European Economic Area, that's full in progress. And but we are dependent on the regulators in the respective countries. So once we started the passporting, we had countries that replied within 1 day and say it's okay, go ahead, and others just take a bit longer.
So I do want to add this right here. So this is what a lot of the Algorand people are concerned about. So they want to know, say they go to Europe, they're in a Premier League match, and are they able to purchase items with the EURD straight from an Algorand wallet, not just the Quantoz, but like a DFly or a Para and whatnot? Is that possible?
Yeah, this is something. So, for example, with the Para wallet, what I explained before, if you have a Quantoz wallet, you can whitelist external wallets,
to spend for it.
A Para wallet through the Quantoz app.
Okay, so you would still have your KYC'd Quantoz account and wallet, but you could have a whitelisted account that you spend with that is not, a Quantoz app. It could be Para, it could be DFly, things like that. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, but it's also the situation. For example, my children don't have a bank account, and the amounts they use for school are so low, so they don't. You can sign up without doing a KYC. If your monthly funding is less than 150 euros. Yeah, so that's a threshold. So then we need your email address and your telephone number. But for example, my children don't have a bank account. So how could they fund? I could. That's what I'm doing all the time, spending my money to my children. But, whitelist their accounts and send money to them. Yeah, so this is how the EURD ecosystem can grow without the necessity that every individual or a machine goes through our KYC.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is
go ahead.
Another question. This is more about Quantoz's revenue model. Could you speak on how Quantoz profits money from this whole scenario as being a facilitator?
Yes. So it's no secret. I think that that an important revenue stream is comes from the assets under management. Yeah. So we until 18 months ago, we had a negative interest rate in Europe. Yeah. So that made it very hard to get a sustainable business model for electronic money tokens. Yeah, so we get an interest on the money that is held on the trusted bank account. Furthermore, we asked for a small subscription fee for big service providers. So we spoke with service providers that have service points, hundreds of service points, and they need a dashboard that tells them how much every service point contributes per day, how much revenue it generates. So that's a subscription fee. Then there is a very low payout fee for the merchants. So ordinary merchants that work with PayPal or credit cards pay, depending on the industry, they are in 3, 4, 5, 6%, and we will keep that as low as possible. So generally less than 1%. And finally, sorry, yeah.
I was just going to say, and that's where I think, like, you said earlier, you guys aren't competing with the Visas and the, PayPal and stuff like that. But I honestly believe you are, because I look at from our year to date, like, right, my wife, she does most of her business through Square, through Venmo and stuff like that. I mean, some cash, but mostly those two platforms. And looking back and seeing the fees, right, that were charged, that we had to pay by using their services, that is where blockchain, from when I first jumped in, like, that's what I was looking for, is like, I can't wait till we can use a blockchain payments infrastructure for our business here that saves us from paying 5-6% for a year down to less than 1% because of how easy and fast you're taking the middleman out. So I do think that is how you guys in companies like yourself are going to be competing.
Yeah. So you're absolutely right, because it's not only low payout fee on ramp off. But remember that credit card companies and to my knowledge also PayPal have a kind of rolling reserve. Yeah. So it might be that 10, 15 or 20% of your revenue is there, but you don't have access to it. Yeah. So you need to go to your bank and get a credit. And here a EURD payment is instantly and irreversible. So you never face chargebacks as a merchant. Yeah, and this is the chargebacks and the rolling reserve have a very big impact for many merchants on their liquidity. Yeah, and this is simply not happening with EURD, because once the EURDs are in your wallet, they are yours, and you can instantly or start using them and pay your bills.
So it makes me think of like mass adoption. I can see this spreading. We saw the rise of debit cards. At first, I remember there were no debit cards, and then we all have them now. Now we have multiple of them. And I'm looking the same way. Again, this is about Algorand adoption as the underlying tech. So when we talk about the Quantoz Pay app or the wallet, the blockchain that wallet is connected to is Algorand. Just want to be clear with that. Oh, okay. That sounds great. That gives the audience a smile over there. That's what everyone wants, is who's using Algorand, how many people. So that's always the question. And I think that's very positive there.
Is there anything going along with Sewell's point there? Is there any like projections you guys are expecting, coming in 2024 for actual like transaction volume with the partners you've already had? I didn't even see that question. So what estimated transaction for first 6 months? What does that look like? What are you guys eyeing for this coming year?
That is always very, very difficult. Yeah, if I now would share it with you. But if you look, for example, the capital locked in USD stablecoins. Yeah, it's and you compare that to the value locked in euro based stablecoins. It's completely out of balance. You say there is no digital euro yet. It's not there, and there is a demand. Yeah, there are a lot of discussions in Europe about a CBDC, so a digital euro issued by the central bank, and this is a political discussion, and it will take at least 5 or 6 years before there is a decision. And what we know now is that this digital euro will not be programmable. So, and my personal opinion is that if the digital euro is not programmable, what does it add? Yeah, so there is a JP Morgan coin in the US, and it's being used by Siemens. Yeah, it's being used by Siemens, and in some interviews, they asked Siemens, which is one of the biggest companies, why do you use this coin? And they said, well, because it's programmable. Yeah. So the industry wants a programmable fiat money backed token, not a stable coin, but a electronic money token. Yeah, that is a regulated product, and this is what the industry wants. Yeah, and
so is this a central bank digital currency without saying that?
No. We are not a central bank, but we have what we issue is a regulated electronic money token, and the value is always €1. Yeah, and that's another big advantage of an electronic money token like the EURD. If you, as a business, if you want to accept a stable coin, a USDT, for example. So the USDT, say it's $1, but it's always a bit more or a bit less than $1.
Yes.
So if you want to convert this stable coin back into fiat money, Well, you need to sign up with an exchange. That might be cumbersome, and your auditor might not like that. But then let's say you sell your 1,000 tethers on the exchange, but you don't get $1,000 on your bank account. You get a bit more or a bit less. So, and this bit more or bit less is a capital gain or a capital loss, which you need to report. Yeah. So so you're going to get a lot of administrative overhead by accepting stable coins in your business. Yeah? And this is why you need a regulated digital euro and not a stable coin.
Okay, so with the NextBlock, we work with a lot of people outside of the US. And if we wanted to participate in this Quantoz, get us a wallet, can people in the US or people outside of Europe sign up for this as well? Because I do like euros and I want to hold them.
Yeah, currently not. So we are at the beginning, and only citizens and businesses located, so inhabitants of the European Economic Area can currently use the EuroD.
Well, I told David we got a crypto for change. We got to move. I was like, we have to go to the eastern half of the world. It seems like, especially in Europe right now, that regulation is a lot more clear. And if can you speak on that? Because you named the MiCA, right? The MiCAR. You got the MEI. What else is coming out next that you hear about that's positive for crypto regulation and adoption?
No, I think that MiCA, which stands for Markets in Crypto Assets Regulation, will get into force on the 1st of July next year. And that's a big step. You can say, well, this is not as we wanted it or expected it, but it defines the play field for all players. Yeah, so and that makes it for investors or companies like Quantoz much easier to build a product and start offering a service. Yeah, because you know the rules. So that really helps. Yeah.
So when is Quantoz US coming? Because that's what we need is some education, I guess. Our regulators need to be educated about what digital ledger technology is.
Yeah, well, we've started our first projects in the US. So we participated in the Mass Challenge Accelerator early this year, and we did a proof of concept with one big financial institution in the US, and we continue the discussions. We have a very nice cooperation with Brandeis University, groups of students helping us, defining the product requirements for the US markets. But we're not ready yet to enter the US markets, and I've been in the business for quite some while, yeah. And what I learned is that you first need a really strong foothold in your home market before going abroad.
Makes sense.
So this is might sound a bit conservative, but it turns out to be a very straightforward business rule.
Makes sense. So we have a few minutes left remaining in the show. I want to first go to Crypto for Change. You have any other comments or questions?
The only other thing I didn't know if you wanted to speak on your website, it talks about the SPUR, or secure payments with unsafe relay, and that's something you guys have patented over there in Europe. I didn't know if you wanted to speak on that and kind of talk about that technology and what that is.
It was a patent we started working on already 5 or 6 years ago, and it was it's one component that you need in the IoT world. Yeah. So in the Internet of Things, you also have things that are not connected to the internet. Yeah, but you might want to make a payment to that machine or device. It can be a vending machine, for example. And we defined a protocol that you can make a payment to this vending machine without being the vending machine connected to the internet. But the vending machine uses then a secured connection via the user's mobile phone. Yeah, so the vending machine gets a notification that the payment was made to this vending machine through the buyer's phone.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, next level. It's kind of like analog a little bit too. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Henry, as we close out, is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience about Quantoz or the Euro D?
No, I think we're on an exciting road, and many things will happen that we're not aware of, and yeah, I hope to see you back next year on our Twitter account or through LinkedIn. And yeah, if the audience is in Europe, get some Euro Ds and spend them with the merchants or on the metaverse. And yeah, thank you very much. And also to all the Algorand folks, we strongly believe in the Algorand technology. We appreciate the cooperation with all the people from Algorand and the Algorand Foundation. It's a great team.
Definitely. That's awesome to hear. And obviously, thanks for coming on the show. Everybody, you can go and check Quantoz out at Quantoz.com. Check them out on Twitter. Make sure you're following them for any updates. And Henry, like I said, great having you on. So if you want to, you can go ahead and pull him off, and then we will do the giveaway. So for everybody who was active in the chat, and Henry, I'll also say, hopefully you can still hear us, but just stay there for us as we're recording these locally, so don't go anywhere yet. But we're going to go ahead and give away 2 of the swag packs, which is a hoodie, a hat, and a journal with Algorand on it. So I'm going to go ahead and present this. Let's see. Don't show that. Good. Let me see here. Will and names. So you should be able to pull that up. All right. So we've got everybody who's made a comment, who's listed here. So we're going to spin it twice. Let's see who gets to win some of this Algo swag. All right. All right. Khalid Tahan. So as long as you are a U.S. citizen or in Mexico or Canada, you have been the first winner.
Yes. Congratulations.
And then we will go ahead and spin again. And also, if the people who do win are not, I'm going to keep this wheel names and we will respin it. So, all right. And Euro XYRO, you were active in the chat. So welcome. Good luck there. You won it as well. So we will reach out to you guys. Also, I know XYRO, you follow us on Twitter, so I can DM you. The first one, though, I don't know. Maybe that was just a one or a couple comments. So if you're still here, make sure to leave a comment or send us a DM just so we can, communicate with you. Like I said, guys, if we can't reach both winners, we will redraw. So just, stay tuned to our socials for that. But thanks for watching, everybody. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yes. Peace, y'all.